Hello and welcome to Ryno's Orioles Report. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Well, that two-game series in DC against the Nationals could have gone a lot better. Didn't lose their, sweepless streak, but the Orioles really didn't play as well. I did talk about this a little bit on the broadcast in the post-game interviews, and possible that because the Orioles were playing so well, having the day off Monday and knowing you're going to have a day off Thursday, kind of mess with their mojo, I guess. Maybe. I don't know. I do think that Nationals have like kind of a, what's the word, sparky bunch there. They're young. They got some talent. They can play baseball. Part of the reason why they're not winning a lot of games is because they're young and inexperienced, but they got ways to beat you. They really do. Is that why the Orioles lost? To a certain extent. Some of that I think was their own doing. Some of it I think because the Nationals really got to them. You can see I'm on MASSonSports.com. We'll get to game one. Relatively uneventful game one. Game two is pretty eventful. A lot of stuff going on in game two. Not much happening in game one. At least for the Orioles anyway. Baltimore Orioles 0, Washington Nationals 3 from Nats Park in D.C. 3 hits. Orioles got 3 hits the whole game. That's not good. Henderson, 0 for. Rutschman, 1 hit. O'Hearn, 0 for. Mountcastle, 0 for. It's not going to help you win games when your 1 through 4 hitters are 1 for 16. Yeah. Not going to win many games like that. And then following that up, Santander Cowser, the 5-6 man, 0 for 3. Wow. Yeah. This wasn't a win. Westberg got a hit. Mullins got a hit. Arias, no hit in 2 plate appearances. Kjerstad, pinch hit late. Nothing. Mateo came in for a defensive replacement because Kjerstad's not playing second base or third base. Yeah, 3 hits total, 12 strikeouts. Not much was known about Mr. Williams on the other side for the Nationals, but he definitely turned his game around from last year. Something they noted on the broadcast a lot. Not a great pitcher last year, definitely turned it around this year. He's pitching really well this year. Orioles just ran into a hot pitcher, I guess. It's probably the best way to describe it. Rutschman got a stolen base, trying to get the mojo in the dugout working or something. Because otherwise, why are you stealing a base? Nobody behind you is hitting. So, oh well. Corbin Burns gets to start in this one. Goes 6 1/3 of an inning pitched. Gives up 5 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks. Not great. Mostly because the Orioles didn't score any runs. So, it's not a terrible inning. You don't like the 5 hits and the 3 walks. It's a little high. Did strike out 6, that's good. But 5 hits and 3 walks is a little higher than you would like it. Nats, they seem young, but they seem to lay off pitches a lot better than you might think for being young. They got a good group of teachers over there, too. Webb finishes off the 7th inning here. Gets 2 outs. Walks 2 batters. Doesn't give up a hit or a run. And does strike somebody out. Again. Walks. Orioles gave up 6 Tuesday night. That's not a good thing. Aiken pitches the 8th and final inning. Orioles on the road, so saves them from having to pitch a full 9 innings. Aiken gives up a hit, but no runs. Does walk a batter, strike somebody out. Just didn't have it. Old Hunter Harvey out here. Doing really well as a setup man for the Nationals. Not 100% sure why the Orioles let him go. I know he had an arm injury, and just after that, he didn't bounce back quick enough, I guess, for what the Orioles wanted, or he wanted too much money for his relatively low experience level. Just didn't work out. Kind of disappointing, because Orioles probably could use his talent right now. Oh well, game one down, didn't get a win. Short 2-game series. You really got to win this game, or your sweepless record goes out the window, even though you only had 2 games to do it. Pulled it out of their asses in the 12th inning. Yeah, it took 12 innings. Orioles, they got down early, but only by 1 run, and then they came back and took the lead, then gave it up in the 9th. Yeah, again, Kimbrel. But then, Orioles got 2 more runs and then gave up 2 again. So, how do you say this? I mean, is it Kimbrel, or is it you're running into the wrong team at the wrong time? Because you can see how many times the Oriole pitchers walked the batter in the last game. But really, it was these 2 errors that happened late in the game that really did the Nationals in. Thankfully for us. Henderson, 2 hits and RBI, scored twice. Rutschman, 1 hit. Mountcastle, 1 hit, 2 RBIs, and a run scored. Santander, a hit, a RBI, a run scored, also walked once. McKenna came in as defensive replacement late in the game. Weren't able to take advantage of that. It did. He let a ball get over his head. Probably would have gotten over Santander's head, but we don't really know. Did try to make a throw to the plate. It was a nice, strong throw. It was a little bit off target, but only a little bit. I mean, the run probably scores anyway. I mean, it's... Honestly, yeah. I mean, they were really just... I think they caught the Nationals at the wrong time. Hoping that's what it is anyway. Westberg, 1 hit, 2 runs scored. Mateo, 1 hit, an RBI, and a run scored. This was key. It was Mateo on the base pass forcing the errors by the Nationals. Good to have him around. Speed kills. It really does. Kowser, 2 hits and an RBI. McCann, 1 hit. And you can see Ryno Hearn pinch hit late. Got the right-hander, left-hander bat. Something Brandon Hyde likes to take advantage of. Maybe a little too much. Though Hearn does walk, which is great. Problem is, McCann was in there at catcher and Rutschman was DH. So who's catching now? Well, obviously Rutschman. So now you lose your DH. So that's why you see Suarez here. And that's why you see Kjerstad getting a pinch hit appearance here. Not getting a hit. Here you had 2 games. Kjerstad can't break into the lineup. Only gets 2 at-bats and 2 pinch hit appearances. It's just... it's just not enough. Disappointing. It's very disappointing that he just can't get in there. Part of it is because he's not that great defensively. Hearn is definitely better defensively. Kowser's better defensively. Santander's better defensively. McKenna's better defensively. Kjerstad, until he works on his defense, he really is something that the league has really gone away from, is that really good hitter, but not really that good in the field. Kind of a liability in the field. Kjerstad kind of appears to be that kind of player to me, and honestly, the league really has gone away from it. Not that there isn't value in this, it's just, see, the Orioles are having a hard time getting him at bats in the majors here. And then you can see Webb, again, another person slotted in here. Luckily, the Orioles were able to finish off the game before they needed to make another switch or have Webb bat or the pitcher bat. Mullins batting 9th because of lefty on the mound. Hitless. Disappointing. Though that's why he's at the bottom of the lineup. I mean, lefty-lefty matchups don't go well for hitters a lot of the times. Westburg cows their doubles. Mountcastle, yeah, I pronounce it. Fumbled a bit on that, it sounded like, anyway. Mountcastle, Santander. Henderson with home runs. I guess why I fumbled it, because I wanted to mention it. You see this here, Harvey. I don't even know if that helped you read that. Yeah, supposedly, well, I mean, I guess most of us know Mountcastle and Hunter Harvey, really good friends. They did grow up a lot together, have been friends for many years. It's good that, they were both in the organization at the same time, but, Hunter Harvey did, the Orioles let him go. Probably a good thing that they did this time, because Mountcastle sitting on a splitter, low and inside, and just, wow, it may not have landed yet. So got 2 runs off of that. So it's a good thing that they let Hunter Harvey go. They may not have won this game. Which I believe, if I remember what they said on the broadcast last night, Mountcastle has faced Harvey twice and hit a home run off him twice. McKenna caught stealing, disappointing. But at the same time, he really did have the bag stolen. The problem was he couldn't stop once he got to the base and went off the base. Oh well. Kyle Bradish gets a start in this one. He's looking pretty good. He's having trouble keeping the pitch count down and not able to go deeper than 5 innings so far. But 5 innings, giving up 4 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, striking out 9 is pretty good. Just got to figure out a way to do it in a little less pitches so you can go 6 innings maybe. And in this case, it kind of did hurt a little bit that he was only able to go 5. Bullpen was well rested because they had off day Monday. So it's not too much of a problem. And then off day Thursday, so you could kind of, just let the bullpen loose. But you had to use Coulomb in the 6th inning. No hits, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. Got to have it really well. Use Cano in the 7th inning. Doesn't give up a hit. Doesn't give up a run. Does walk somebody. Doesn't strike anybody out. Only gets 2 outs, probably because he wasn't going that well. And Cionel Perez pitches 1 1/3 of an inning, finishing off the 7th inning and pitching the full 8th inning. No hits, no runs, walks 1, doesn't strike anybody out. Which is, it's fine that you don't strike anybody out. Bradish got enough strikeouts for everybody. But it's good that, they're coming in here, they're getting these holds. You're putting Cionel Perez late in the game. You've got another back end of the bullpen guy. Maybe he's not quite a closer, but you know what? Did pretty well as a setup man here, didn't he? Yeah. And then Mr. Kimbrel. Enter Mr. Kimbrel. Gets the first 2 outs, fine. He got a little bit lucky on the 2nd out because the Orioles had right positioning in the infield, and he just hit a line drive directly at Westburg, who was probably shaded a little more in the 5.5 hole in between third base and shortstop. But batter hit it right on the line to him. So, is that luck or is that skill, positioning skill? A little bit of both, maybe. Then it's tough to say whether it was Kimbrel couldn't throw strikes, he was getting squeezed, which there were definitely a few pitches called balls that were not balls. Or the Nationals just laying off of everything that wasn't a fastball. Kimbrel was throwing it, I don't know if it's a curveball or it's a slider, but he was throwing it more low-ish, but in the strike zone, working it so, it would come in the zone and then dive right out of the zone. To me, it didn't look like he was missing a spot. Because the balls ended up, 2 or 3 inches outside and below the strike zone, which is, that's about where you want it. You want to start it in the zone and then have it leave the zone. The Nationals just sitting there spitting on it. Not swinging at that. Like they could identify the pitch. They knew he was going to throw that. They were just sitting fastball in his zone. very disciplined at the plate. At least it looked like it. I mean, because it really didn't look like Kimbrel was having problems. The Nationals just were not cooperating. They were not going to give in. They don't care how many saves Kimbrel has. They don't care if he's going to be in the Hall of Fame or not. They were sitting on his fastball, and that was it. Rosario did hit a home run, so there was that. But again, if they won't chase your breaking pitches, what are you supposed to do? If the umpires won't call that high and tight fastball that was over the plate and at the belt, what do? Well, you end up walking people. One, because they won't swing it. Good pitcher pitches. And the umpire has a tight strike zone. That's what I'm going with. Because again, he got the first 2 outs. Kimbrel gets the first 2 outs of the 9th inning. Then he gives up a hit, the home run. Does give up 2 walks. Now that's when Brandon Hyde makes a change and brings in Aiken. So this other run here, and yes, Kimbrel is charged with 2 runs. Kimbrel gets the hold because when he left the game, the Orioles still had the lead. It was Aiken that gave up the hit that allowed the first walk to score. Now, I'm not saying Aiken's trash or anything, or he pitched fine. He did give up a hit. But again, that's why Aiken gets a blown save. Aiken gave up the hit that tied the game back up. Again, Nationals have a young, feisty bunch of guys over there. I'm chalking it up to that until I see it differently. Because maybe if the umpires would call strikes. I mean, we questioned that in this 2-game series. The umpires not getting calls right. I mean, hell, O'Hearn and Brandon Hyde got thrown out of the first game because the umpire decided that a ball 3 inches off the inside of the plate was a strike. Like, no. I mean, so, when I see pitcher, to me, it looks like he's hitting their spots and you're just not calling it a strike. And batters aren't offering it. I'm like, well, I wonder if there is a fix in the works here. I mean, you're just laying off all these pitches and the umpire's not even calling all these right on the line of the strike zone pitches. You're not even calling them strikes. Maybe it's because the Nationals know you weren't going to do that. Okay. However, but Aiken does finish off the 9th inning, does allow the hit, but doesn't allow anything else to happen. And again, Mountcastle hits that 2-run home run to give the Orioles another 2-run lead at this time. So enter Albert Suarez. He does pitch 2 full innings. Well, no, this didn't happen. Suarez pitches the 10th inning, and it was the 11th inning that Mountcastle hits the home run. So a scoreless 10th inning for Suarez. Pitches 2 full innings, the 10th and the 11th. Gives it 1 hit, 2 runs, 1 earned run because of the extra runner for extra innings. Does walk a batter, does strike a batter out. So here, again, giving up runs to the Nationals. When your offense was able to get you the lead again. So, again, was this because Kimbrel couldn't do it or because between the umpires having a shit-ass strike zone and the Nationals having a young, feisty-ass group over there that wasn't going to give up? A little bit of all of it, I think. But Suarez does get out of it without any further damage. He doesn't necessarily give up the lead, but he does allow the Nationals to tie the game. But again, as I mentioned earlier, Jorge Mateo getting the hit to get in the extra runner initially. And then it turned into a Little League triple because Nationals made a few errors and then a wild pitch gets Mateo to score. So that's how the Orioles got their 2 runs in the 12th inning. And then here's Jacob Webb in the 12th inning to actually gets credit with the save in this. Does pitch a full inning in the 12th. Does give up a hit. Does give up a run, but it wasn't an earned run. Doesn't walk anybody. Strikes one batter out. Again, he gave up the hit, but again, he gave up a run because MLB places a runner out there. Disappointing. More on Kimbrel. Here it says he throws 19 pitches, 10 of them were strikes. One of them was hit, one of them was a home run, and 2 walks. I mean, that would be 4 balls. So, other than the 2 at-bats where he threw 4 balls, 11 pitches, 10 strikes? And other than the 4 base on balls, right? 4 balls for the walks. I mean, that's not... I don't know. I'm just not ready to write him off yet. At this point, Brandon Hyde and the Orioles aren't ready either. Which we're not ready to write him off yet. Not saying that time won't come, I'm just saying not yet. It's just not happening yet. All right, let's get on to a few articles. Written by Rock Kubatko. I honestly can't remember which article he was talking about which, because all these articles are written by Rock Kubatko. Talking about Grayson Rodriguez starting his throwing regiment. Rehab stint here. Don't know. Don't really have a timetable. Don't even have a plan for who's coming out of the rotation or who's coming off the pitching staff when it is time for Grayson Rodriguez to come back. Because who's the next man out? Best guess for me, it's Mike Baumann, though he is out of options, which sucks. But of course, at the same time, then who's coming out of the rotation? Irvin's on a scoreless inning streak. You're going to take Bradish out of the rotation? Yeah, no, I don't think so. Are you going to take Corbin Burns out of the rotation? Yeah, no, I don't think so. Maybe Kramer. One of these articles does mention Kramer does have a blister on his middle finger. But it's been there for at least 2 of his last starts, which really hasn't affected him. So we'll see how that plays out. John Means, you're gonna take John Means out? As of right now, no. So right now, you don't. They have no idea what they're gonna do. And the same goes for Austin Hayes, who is starting to play baseball down there for Bowie, right? Yeah, he's already hit 2 home runs. He hit home run in the first game, was a night game, and then the second game was an afternoon game. Hit a home run. Played left field in the one game, DH the other one. So he can hit live pitching. I don't know if he can hit major league pitching because he hasn't been doing that much of that this year. Though at the same time, he was coming off of some kind of stomach bug. Lost a bunch of weight on that. So he probably really could use his rehab assignment to get himself right. But at the same time, who's coming off the roster? Best guess, and I did talk about this in the last video, Kjerstad just isn't getting the at-bat, so he makes the most logical sense, right? You send McKenna down, then he's got to be DFA'd. Are you going to be able to keep McKenna or not? Don't know. So, Kjerstad, he couldn't even get in his 2-game series against the Nationals except for 2 pinch hit at-bats. You're always going to have a pinch hit option. Because some people just, you can't let everybody play every day. You have 13 position players. 13 of them don't play every day. So maybe you want to stay away from one guy, but you always have 3 other options as a pinch hitter. So do you need Kjerstad? Would it be better for him to go down to minor leagues and get more consistent playing time? Maybe even work on his defense, because I don't think he's that good defensively. Coming to this next article, I think it was this article that Rock Kubatko talks about Tyler Wells. And kind of puzzling what's going on with Tyler Wells. Yes, he was placed on a 15-day injured list that was like retroactive to like April 13th or something. Well, yeah, it's May 9th. And yes, you can stay on the 15-day injured list longer than 15 days. It's more of a minimum of 15 days. He's not. Well, I mean, I don't know how quick you progress from inflamed elbow, but it's not as fast as Rodriguez. Which again leads me to think, well, I'm sorry, but Wells is the back end of the bullpen guy because his arm just apparently cannot handle being a starter. It's disappointing because he's had some good runs as being a starter. It's just, it doesn't seem like his arm can hold up over the stress of pitching that much. But, I mean, he hasn't had any setbacks or anything. It's just the inflammation isn't going down as rapidly as, let's say, a Rodriguez or some other pitcher. I mean, he's working through. He's in Sarasota doing some rehabbing, but we don't think it's anything, or at least we're not being told that it's anything catastrophic to Tyler Wells. It's just taking a little longer. And at the same time, the Orioles aren't rushing it because where's he going to go? Which is also probably part of it. All right, it's enough injury update. Let's get to the schedule, summarize this, wrap this up, and let's get out of here. Coming off a very tough series, a 2-game series with the Nationals, but a day off Thursday today, then starting a 3-game series at home with the Arizona Diamondbacks. Yes, the Arizona Diamondbacks from the World Series last year. So somewhat of a, big time series. You're coming a very good opponent here. Friday's game scheduled for 7:05, Saturday's game scheduled for 4:05, and Sunday's game scheduled for 1:35. Should be somewhat of an exciting series against the Arizona Diamondbacks. No off day Monday, so I'll just have to hurry up and do my video. But that is going to do it for this edition of Ryno's Orioles Report. Stay tuned for Monday for the next edition of Ryno's Orioles Report, and I'll talk about the Arizona Diamondbacks series. So please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I am the Angry Ryno, and this is Birdland.